Hail, Thrand here.
Hail, this is Eldgrim, and this is the Thrand channel.
Yo!
Beautiful. That first back edge cut was beautiful. Let's try another. Ooh. We lost it from the pedestal. We still got a beautiful cut with the back edge, clean through. Hardly any tearing. That's a 3-inch roll. I'm impressed. Ah! Nice. Beautiful back edge cut. We got a front edge cut and then a beautiful back edge cut. Little tearing, but not much. This is a full 3-inch roll. Let's go ahead and try a back edge cut like I did earlier, or see what happens. Ah! Ooh, that was nasty. We went clean through the jaw, through the spine, and we left a little bit of jaw here, but the rest of the head just went. As we said in the other videos, not really any skin flaps with Ballistic's gelatin. If it gets that thin and it's got that much momentum behind it, it tends to tear the rest of the way. But look at that, straight through our jaw. That is very difficult to cut through. That was impressive. I think where I used to be back of the sword to cut with, and I'm going to see if I can do any damage to the back of the head. I've heard lots of different stories about the back edge having a lot less power on one-handers. It's quite a bit of blade heft or weight to the blade. So I'm going to see if I can get a good hit on the back of the skull and actually damage the head better enough to kill the guy. Of course, this would be an unarmed head, so let's see how this takes place here. Ah! I don't know, but I would say that was a kill. This would help go around the shield. So let's pull this out and see what we got here. Let's do a lot of Ballistic's gel and into the skull. It has a lot more gel on it than it should, a lot more than you have on human flesh, but it went clean in. And we've got blood leaking. Ah! How do we do on that one?
Way better.
Oh yeah, it's going straight into the skull.
Oh, that was gruesome.
These are penetrating the skull. Beautiful cut. Oh!
Nice, that was a cut.
I think it cut through. So if something went wrong, it would be something like that instead of me hurting myself. Now if I do the proper cut, like I believe should have been done, we get a little bit of a different effect here. Alrighty, that was just a light blow. That wasn't even hard. That was just the proper motion. Alrighty, this is going to be with a lot more force, hopefully. We'll see what we can do here. The other one I did light intentionally because I don't want to just destroy our meat because this is all we have. That's why we hung 90 pounds on it with its 12 pounds to make it equal almost what they had in video there was resistance. Here we go. I don't know, I think that was a lot worse. Okay, let's examine the damage. But see right here, where it's cut, this thing can roll, of course, so we might have got more if this thing was more stationary like a human and didn't give so much and roll around in circles and stuff. But we hit the bone. That's what stopped this whole thing. I can feel a bone right here and the scoring on the bone. Right up in here as it went up at the angle into it. And there you go. That's why we stopped.
Talk about the tip of the blade of the week of the blade cutting. So, as you can see, I can put everything I've got to the tip of this blade.
But yeah, you can't cut with it.
It's not going to work. It doesn't work. Now, if I accelerated this tip and did what Thrand did earlier, then yeah, I could do all that even with this portion of the blade here.
See a good draw cut there. Oh yeah, that's just nasty.
Oh, I hit the bone. I know I did. It's turning my blade now.
Oh wow, that is just awesome. But see, the whole point with this is if somebody had really heavy leather, which yes, you can slice through leather, but let's say like leather armor, several layers, or any kind of metal like lamellar, chain, this is not effective.
not really your best bet to waste your time trying to get in and do that unless you're pretty much in a grappling situation and get away with it. But this is not to put down people like the steel reenactors that do that, because yes, this is a devastating attack. If you get this in a joint, correct?
Yeah, if you draw under here, it works.
Inside the leg, anywhere.
Draw here. If you can get a draw in. Thrand, this, I can't emphasize enough how awesome this cut is. But this was if I'm not mistaken, a false edge from a downward angle. Am I right?
Slightly, yes.
Okay, so a slight downward angle. So the question is, what about a slight upward angle? Is there any way you could show us that, Thrand? I'd really like our viewers to see.
Sure. We got that, yeah.
Do an upward cut just like without the shield, but you're stepping with it. Alright, as you're looking here, that was an actual slice, but what stopped this is I was running out of blade, and I actually I could feel the rope as it pulled all these weights down here, which is 90 pounds, and yanked the whole thing. I'll show what happens if we get flat with it. Standing here. Yeah, we lost our stuff again. But as you can see, we didn't get much of a cut, did we? We just barely scored the fat, no meat cut, no nothing. A shield, or you have something small that won't stop, you do have like a buckler or something, you pretty much have to step to get your blade not hitting. It's a common thing, the physics of the blade moving. Even if you're letting it cut out, you pretty much have to be in this position, because you wouldn't want to accidentally and cut straight into yourself trying to draw and cut. Because of the proper speed and force, if you missed, be a really bad accident. Do it. The way I did the cut that made it different is it doesn't matter if this is tight either. It doesn't. You still do the same motion. You stay in close, like you're throwing this, and it comes back. So your slice is this way. It's not really a hack as much as it is a cut. And it can be done low the same way. Boom, that's flat. Okay, that's a hack. That can cut through bone, over a bone, solid, chop through it. But we're going for a cut. So if this thing flicks out, I have to bring it back this way. That's just the way it has to be. Even if it's on the side, I'm drawing it this way. I let my elbow rise out and draw it this way. That's why the shield's here to protect you. If you're stepping with it, it works the same way, but it's doing the same thing. It's coming in this way. I want to demonstrate the wrap shot. A lot of people were saying that basically it has no power and was never used in history. I'd like to show the back of the edge here. We're going to use a wrap shot. We're going to go through this tree branch, through the bottle first. If it takes another shot or two, I'll throw it. We'll see what happens. Oh!
There you go.
I think we got exactly what we wanted. You see how fast that sword could cut. And I'm going to be honest, I tried a couple of times to get the exact effect, but we pulled it off. I was able to cut through this bottle and come back through this bottle. But without using a back edge, if it wasn't a double-edged blade, I don't think that would have been possible with that type of cut. You wouldn't have had the speed of recovery. But as for one-handed, yes, you most certainly can use it one-handed like they said in the book, and I know this is based on the artwork. It may not be exactly what Tolkien had in mind, but it's a beautiful sword, excellent reproduction for the movie, so, I mean, except for that's a smaller fuller, which gives it a little more weight, which I think is great, because it's much more like a 13th century design sword than a later century longsword. It's something that would be used against flexible armors like mail and gambesons, and possible shields as well, and maybe use one hand and a half to get extra power. Beautiful. Not bad at all. Oh, a little bit slower there, but I caught this one as it was falling and cut a piece of it off. Not quite the same as before, but we were still able to do it. And we got a clean cut through the other bottle at a slightly different angle because I was using a shield, which caused me to have to come up at a little higher angle. Not too bad. Woo! Ah! Oh, our only problem is we knocked it completely off the pedestal. Oh, it wasn't secured properly, but let's see what kind of carnage we got. Ooh, I can't believe this. We went through the jaw, in through the skull, That is just nasty. That was a back edge cut, just seeing what that would do. They're supposed to be weaker. But through our fake jaw, all that ballistics gel, and all the way into the brain, or the brain stem. I think that's very nasty.
It would have probably went all the way through if it was
If it had
secured right.
been secured, yes, it probably.
Perfect.